So right now, Rod Rosenstein is headed to the White House. There have been multiple reports that Rod Rosenstein, who is the acting AG in terms of the massive Russia investigation, and the Russian investigation is expansive. Just a refresher. The Russian investigation existed before Robert Mueller. It was perhaps at that time it was I believe, strictly a national security investigation. The FBI was involved. Then, of course, Comey is fired. There may have been some pursuit of a criminal investigation at that point. Comey is fired. Sessions is recused. Rod Rosenstein oversees Mueller, who is appointed as the special counsel. And so just to catch you up with that, so if Rod Rosenstein is fired or resigns, now my understanding is it is relevant, not just because of the optics of Donald Trump firing Rod Rosenstein and it making it look like he is actively obstructing an investigation, but according to the Federal Vacancies Reform Act, Trump has the power to appoint an acting AG if it's a resignation. If he's fired, it becomes a little bit more murky. Now, I don't know who stops that from happening, right? I mean, I guess you would go to the D.C. Circuit Court and maybe that would go up to the Supreme Court. It's unclear. I mean, that's when we talk about having a constitutional crisis. This is what we mean, that there's no clear way that these things get resolved. There is also some question as to who would replace Rod Rosenstein. Broadly speaking, people say Francisco, this guy Francisco, who is the Solicitor General. However, this Francisco is a member of a law firm that apparently has some, Jones Day, that apparently has some connection to the Russian investigation. So Noel Francisco would probably have to be recused from the Russia investigation. Jones Day, which is his former firm, I guess, represents the Trump campaign. Francisco has recused himself in all Supreme Court cases. If it is not Francisco, who you should also know is a Federalist Society guy, it could go to Stephen Engel, who is the Assistant Attorney General for and heads the OLC. This is the Office of Legal Counsel, which essentially functions as an arbiter for the president as to, giving him legal advice. It's legal for you to do this. It's not legal for you to do this. This is where Wu was, saying torture is okay, et cetera, et cetera. Stephen Engel, also a Federalist Society, also a former clerk for Kaczynski, the federal judge who had to resign amid sexual harassment charges. So the Federalist Society has done a pretty good job of inserting their folks into government. Meanwhile, I said on Chris Hayes' program, I don't know, a couple months ago, that Sean Hannity was now arguably one of the most important advisors to the president. I took a little bit of grief for that. Here is Sean Hannity on his radio program on, I believe, September 11th.
Mike in Detroit. Mike, hi, how are you? Hello, Sean. It's good to speak with you. I'm a long-time listener. I love your Fox show. I'm going to try to be real quick because I got a couple of quick questions, all right? Trump has got so many people in his corner ready to fight. Anything he can turn over or declassify, I can't understand why he wouldn't do it. What's he waiting for? One of his kids to get indicted or something? And if they do get a special counsel to look into the investigators, can it be stopped by the Democrats if they take the House and or Senate? And something else I thought about, if they're, for the investigation, the special counsel to begin with, there was supposed to be a crime designated. If there's no crime designated, then can't Trump put an end to it?
Yeah, I think
like 30 days. Name the crime or I'm putting an end to it. Put them on their heels.
Listen, I think all of that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. I don't think it's going to happen on a week where 9/11 happened. It's to me, there's other things that we are more important to talk about. And I don't think with a big, massive hurricane about to hit the east coast of the United States that looks like the real deal, that anybody's going to be focused on that. We've got to worry about our neighbors right now. We got to roll up our sleeves and be prepared to help out the people of South Carolina, North Carolina, and elsewhere. That's where our focus is. But afterwards, I would expect that he will do that.
I mean, so he's getting pretty specific, right? We said we wouldn't do it on this week.
But nobody calls Sean Hannity.
There you go.